JJK chapter 263 is officially out, and the big three sorcerers are finally working together. Let's go through the whole entire chapter and see if there was anything we missed. So the chapter begins with Gojo and Sukuna's domain breaking. And when the dust settles, Sukuna says that the hollow purple hit him. He's very surprised about this, and he's very damaged, and you can look at his face and his body, it's all burnt up. And then the big three sorcerers jump out, and Todo says, Yuta, keep on spamming the hollow purples. I can keep on teleporting me and Yuji around. It doesn't matter if you think it's gonna hit us, it won't. Yuta would love to, but it turns out he is done. Kenjaku's curse technique has run out. That does make sense since Rika isn't haunting Gojo, he isn't gonna have her abilities. And Todo looks at Yuta and he's like, he is burnt out. And since he was distracted by Yuta, Sukuna is able to land a hit on him. Not just any hit, it's a black flash, and when he does that, Yuji appears behind him, and Sukuna gives him attention. Then Todo claps and Yuji is behind Sukuna. And Todo says, way to make us wait, I'm not done in the spotlight just yet. And Todo says the shards from the domain expansion are still around the battlefield, so he can use that with Boogie Woogie and he can be at top performance. And this has got to be one of the cleanest panels in JJK. Todo is literally swapping Yuji so many times around Sukuna. It appears like he has a bunch of shadow clones, but then Todo swaps him and he touches the side of Sukuna. He uses Dismantle on Sukuna and he says, I'll do this as many times as I have to wake up Fushiguro. And he's firing these dismantles between Megami and Sukuna's souls. And he says Yuji made a binding vow to make his strikes more effective, and then he throws up his finger. He got hit so hard that Yuji is making him throw them up, and he has to swallow it back to maintain his form. Then Sukuna jumps on this ledge and Yuji uses Shrine, and it breaks everything and Yuji goes at him, but Sukuna dodges and punches Yuji into the wall. He says Yuji's attacks are the only effective moves they can use right now. And Todo says if his Vibra Slap isn't recognized as his left hand, it won't function. And Todo goes to clap again. And Sukuna's like there was no swap, and then Todo goes to clap again. But that clap was to bring Kurusu above Sukuna, and she looks like she's gonna do something. And we learn that Todo has more range when it comes to his Boogie Woogie, and he did that through a binding vow. But we see that his Vibra Slap is broken. And then we have a flashback, and Yuta tells Kurusu we may need her help at the very end of everything. He says that using Jacob's ladder could injure Sukuna and potentially break Megami away. Yuta says when he uses his copy technique, nobody thinks of the original user. And he says the best strength of copy is having two cards in one hand. Sukuna basically thought that since Yuta used Jacob's ladder, the original user was out of the equation. But she's here now with some vengeance. And the chapter ends with maximum output Jacob's ladder. And yes, this is definitely hitting Sukuna. I don't see why it would not. It's very clear that Sukuna is on his last legs. Like, this is the very end of the fight. Like, with Yuta hitting Hollow Purple this chapter and then ending off on this cliffhanger, I really do think Kurusu is going to hit Jacob's ladder. But this will come at a cost, and I think someone's going to get injured here. I think it most likely will be Todo because his Vibra Slap broke. But this was a great chapter, guys. Let me know how you feel about it.